Hi everyone, I'm Thicha. I am Education Director at Breathe Pilates. Today I'll be guiding you through a mobility class with a focus on hip mobility. Okay, so what you need for your props today is a dining chair and a mat. Or if you have sensitive knees, please have some cushions to support your kneecaps. Okay. So let's begin by lying down on the floor. So we are going to do a little bit of warm up. Okay, so you are going to lie down on the floor. A little bit of core activation to warm up your body. Get your lower abs ready, your transverse abdominis and your pelvic floor. I want you to lie down with your pelvis in neutral. The rib cage down on the mat. Have your arms long by your side. Okay, from here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw your tummy in, move your pelvis to imprint. Inhale, come back to neutral. 5 more times like that. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, back to neutral. And again. Inhale, back to neutral. Last 2 times, think about flatten your lower back down. Spill the tea down to the chest without jamming the back down onto the mat. Just gentle imprint your lower back down. Now one last one, maintain this imprint. Keep your pelvis stable, bring one leg to tabletop. And then exhale the other leg to tabletop. From here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw your tummy in. I want you to tap one toes down as low as you can keep your pelvis stable. And exhale, draw your tummy in, the other leg down. You notice I'm keeping the angle of my knee joint the same. Okay, I am not bending from my knee. I'm moving from my hip joints. Warming up your core muscles here. And one last one. And then come back to tabletop. From here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, reach your arms overhead and circle your arms towards the hips, warming up your upper body, your shoulder joints, your scapular position. And exhale, 3. Good. 2 more times. Exhale, 2. And then one last one. Exhale. From here, bring your arms up to the side. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, I want you to draw your tummy in. Lower your knees to one side. As low so you can keep the opposite shoulder blades down. We are doing a little bit of obliques work here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Squeeze your legs together, draw your tummy in, spiral your hips, your knees to one side, and exhale to the other side. Inhale back, exhale the other side. One more, exhale now. Last one, just let the knee draws down to the floor, and I want you to look to opposite arms, so you should feel the stretch through your upper back, lower back. And breathe here for a couple of breaths. When you inhale, I want you to feel like you lengthen your collarbones. Fingertips reach away from each other. Exhale. Ooh, gently melt your ribcage down. One more time here. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly bring your knees back up. Roll your knee to the other side. Look over the opposite shoulders. Try to melt the ribcage down on the mat. Breathe in deeply. Feel the length across your chest. Exhale. One more time here. Inhale. And exhale. From here, we'll come back up to center. I want you to open your knees slightly wider than your shoulder width. Grab your knees with your hands and pull your knees towards your chest. Relax your ankles here. We are drawing circles around your hip joints. Okay, trying to get your top of your legs circling inside the hip sockets. We do one direction for 5 times. As you bring your knees in, allow your sacrum to roll off slightly. Feel like if you want to squeeze the thighs into the chest and then lengthen the thighs away. And then reverse direction. Nice and easy here. 3 more. 2 more. And one last one. From here, we roll back up. We're going to come up onto our hands and knees. Okay, we're going to warm up your hip joint a little bit further here. So if you have wrist problem, Today's class is not about upper body mobility, so you can turn your palms, turn your fingertips away from each other. Might helps a little bit, okay? Or you roll up your mat and then have your heels of your hands on top of the mat and then your fingertips down towards the floor. So this helps increase the angle of your wrist joints. It's going to be a little bit easier for the wrist tension. Okay, from there, maintain your spine and pelvis in neutral. My knees right underneath my hips, hands underneath my shoulders. I visualize myself holding a cup of tea in my lower back, crown of head reaching away from my tail. I begin to shift my hips side to side. Okay, I'm still visualizing that I'm holding a cup of tea in my lower back. I try not to spill the tea down to the side as I sway my hips from side to side. Okay, we're just slowly moving your hips. From here, we're going to start to move a little bit bigger. As you bring your hips to the left, think about rotate your shoulders to the right. And as you tip your hips to the right, rotate your shoulders to the left. So here, visualize the tea spilling down to my left as I rotate my hips to the left, to the right as I rotate to the right. You're warming up a little bit deeper here. You might feel in your obliques as well, your torso from side to side. Nice and easy here. Last 2 times. And then one more. Good job. From here, come down into your collapse child pose. Okay, on your elbows, sit your heels down onto your, sit your butts down onto your heels. You can come down onto your elbows, or you can come down onto your crown of your head in this position. Okay, take a deep breath in here. Exhale, I push into my hands, lift the hips up. Inhale, I lower down. So I'm warming up my knee joint as well. So the lower half, the lower chain gets involved here when we're working your mobility of the hips. We do 2 more times. And then we do 1. From here, I lift my butt off my heels slightly, maybe about 3 inches off my heels. I'm moving my leg, one leg behind my hips. I'm gonna warm up my hip extension. From here, I'm taking a deep breath in. Exhale and lift my leg up. And then inhale, lower down. So you notice I'm trying to lift my leg without lifting my butt off my heel. Okay, squeezing my left butt. Thinking about reaching the toes long towards the back heel. If this is impossible, you can come up onto your hands and do the same exercise. If you are in this position, visualize you hold a cup of tea in your lower back. Use your exhale to draw your lower abs in and then lift the leg up. We have 2 to go. And then one last one. Good. And then we change to the other side. Okay. You can stay here on your hands or you can come down onto your forearms. So this is a harder variation. Keep your butt slightly off. Inhale here. Exhale, draw your tummy in and lift. Inhale, lower down. We do 8 times. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Squeeze the right butt. Reach long to the toes. 5. Draw your lower abs in first. 6. 2 more. And one last one. Good job. And come all the way back. Okay, so that exercise helps strengthening your hip extensor without compromising on using your lower back. So it's a great exercise for body awareness and also helps strengthen your glute max, which is very important for a lot of your daily activities that you need to use your hip for. Okay, then we are going to strengthen your outside butt. So the reason we need to strengthen the muscles is because it helps protect your joint. Okay, as you strengthen one muscle, you lengthen the opposing muscle. So in a way, you get benefits in both ways. So for example, previous exercise, we strengthen our glute max. So basically, we're lengthening our hip flexors as a result. Now we are going to strengthen your hip abductors, outside hips. Okay, so when we strengthen these muscles, we are lengthening the inner side muscles of our legs. start in the same position. Either you come up into your all-four position and reach your legs completely out to the side. Pelvis and spine in neutral. Inhale here. Exhale, try to lift the legs up without changing anything in your lower back or your pelvis. Good. So think about outer thighs, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward. Good. If this is easy for you, come down into a collapsed position again, okay? And lift 5. 3 more times. 6. 2 more. 7. 1 more time. 8. Good job. Then we are doing the other side. I'm going to turn myself around so that you can see me from the camera angle. Reach your left leg directly out to the side. Inhale to the nose here. Exhale, draw your lower abs in and lift the leg up. Inhale, lower down. So it's not about how high you lift the leg. I want you to focus on keeping the form pretty much your pelvis position. Lower back, maintain neutral. 3 to go. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 2. And one last one. Good job. And come all the way back to relax. So now we have warming up our knee joint by strengthening hip extensors, strengthening hip abductors. Let's try to strengthen your hip flexors, okay? So this is gonna help lengthen your hamstrings, which are opposing muscles of your hip flexors. Okay, here we are going to utilize our dining chair. Okay, I place the chair in front of my body. I'm kneeling on one knee, so if you have sensitive kneecaps, you can have some cushion to support your supporting knee. Reach one leg forward in front of the hips. Good. I have my right knee directly below my right hip. From here, I want you to keep your spine long, okay, and then bring your elbows down onto the chair. Okay, the distance of the chair between your body depends on your range at the moment. Okay, so I want you to lower down as much as you can, keep your spine in neutral as much as you can. So if you come down here and in order to reach the chair, your spine is like this, bring the chair closer to you so that you can keep your spine in neutral. Crown your head reaching away from the tail. So for me, I can move my chair a little bit further. Okay. From here, I have my left leg forward, right knee underneath my hips, and I press sole of my left foot on the mat as if I'm stepping onto a gas pedal. So keep your quads, all of your quads active, feeling like you draw your kneecap up towards the hips, thinking about plugging your left leg back into the hip socket. We are going to stay here and just visualize that you are cowing or rounding your lower back. This is just for your pelvis awareness. And then as you exhale, think about arching your lower back. So lift the butt cheek diagonally up towards the ceiling behind. And exhale, round your lower back. Tuck your tailbone under. And exhale, arch your pelvis up towards the ceiling. So if I want to exaggerate by demonstrating how you would like to move your pelvis, is you're doing this and this, okay, and this and this, okay. So when you are in this position, the movement is tiny, almost as if you can't see the movement of the pelvis, but the sensation, you can feel it. As you tuck your tailbone under, you release the lengthening in the back of your left leg, your hamstring, and as you stick the butt up, you feel the back of the legs lengthening. Continue to step the left foot down on the mat. Continue to breathe. Continue to engage your quads, pulling your left hip back. And alternate your pelvis position in arch position, in curl position. 3 more times. Good. 2 more times. And one last one. from here, maintain this slight arch, okay? Move the chair a little bit forward. Maybe you have more range. I want you to turn your left leg out. Basically, spiral your thighs into external rotation away from the center of the body. So basically, my heels is in the center, my toes pointing away from the center. Think about spiral inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Maintain the same position and do an arch and curl in your lower back. You probably feel a different stretch in your hamstrings. Okay, so your hamstrings has a few different muscles. Okay, one in the center, one outside, one inside of the back of the legs. You want to feel all of these muscles lengthening. And exhale, curl. 2 more times, arch. Exhale, curl. Good. Come back to parallel. Okay, now from here, I want you to think about pressing your foot down and press your, bring your kneecap up towards the hips. You're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, see whether you can float the leg slightly off the mat and lower down. So we are trying to actively lengthening your hamstrings. Exhale, lift again, 2. Good. Exhale, lift again, 3. We do 8. And exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. And 6. 2 more times, 7. And 8. Good. We are going to change to the other side. So we bring the other leg forward. Same principle. Your leg directly in front of your body, right in the center. Kneecap pointing up towards the ceiling. Press your sole of the foot, my right foot, down on the mat. Left knee directly underneath my hips. I'm taking a deep breath in. Exhale, I press my foot down as I think about arching my lower back. Lengthen my butt cheek up and out, diagonally up. And then exhale, tuck my tailbone under. Let's do this a few times. Exhale. As you arch your lower back, you should feel a little bit more lengthening in your hamstrings. And exhale, curl. And we go again. Exhale, arch. And exhale, curl. Maybe one more time. And exhale, arch. Exhale, curl. And one last one. Exhale, arch. Good. Now from here, turn your leg out to stretch different hamstrings, different hamstring muscles. Okay. Same thing. Think about step your foot into the wall in front. Bring the toes back towards the chest. And just do arch and curl in this position. So sometimes maintain this calmness in your breath really help with your nervous system. Okay, so you are now telling your body that it's okay to move into the new range that you might find, and that it's safe, that you are aware of the body. You're using the opposing muscles to help lengthening the desired muscles. Okay, and then come back. Now from here, we're going to try to lift the leg up without changing anything in the shape of the spine. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, draw your tummy in. Inhale, lower. So think about there is a ball here, and then you squeeze the ball, compress the ball between thigh and chest. And 3. When you lift, just hold for 1 second. Exhale, 4, hold, and then lower down. 4 more times, and try to keep your leg as straight as possible. 3. Good. Exhale, 2. 1 more. Exhale, 1. Good job. Relax for a second. Okay. So from here, we're gonna work lengthening your hamstrings a little. Your hip flexors a little bit more. Okay. We are gonna come down into a front lunge position. I have my chair on one side of my body. Okay. I'm kneeling, my left side against the chair, or the chair is on the left side of my body. I reach my right leg, so outside leg forward. So you notice my ankle slightly forward of my knee, so it's not directly below. However, my left knee is directly under my left hips. So here, if you have sensitive kneecaps, you might want to use a cushion to support the knees, okay? You are going to take a deep breath in here. So I'm gonna try to use a little bit to support my kneecaps because I have sensitive kneecaps. So I fold my mat and have my left knees on. From here, I'm taking a deep breath in. As I exhale, I'm thinking about tucking my tailbone under, so lengthening my quad, and then I release back. You can arch your back slightly here just to make it point that you understand the different pelvis position. We do again, and exhale, tuck. So as you tuck, feel like you draw front part of the hips up towards the chest, press the knee down. You can even think about sliding the knee forward. Inhale, release. We go again, and exhale, 3. Inhale, release. Exhale, 4. And also I want you to be mindful that you keep your leg really parallel. Okay, so if I show you front view, it should be completely straight. So not turning your thigh out like this. Okay, because we want to lengthen your hip flexors here. Okay, we have 4 to go, and exhale, 4. Inhale, release. Exhale, 3. 2 more times. Exhale, 2. And then one last one. Exhale. From here, maintain this tuck. I want you to shift your weight forward, lunge forward, and try to lower this thigh down towards the floor. You notice my shoulders stay on top of my hips. You can lean onto the chair if it's too hard for you to keep your balance. Inhale, shift back. Release the pelvis. And we go again. Exhale, tuck, shift, maintain the tuck, shift the weight forward. Only go as far down as you can keep your shoulders on top of the hips. So if you go this low but you lean forward, you're better off being here, shoulders on top of the hips. Feel the lengthening in your hip flexors. Release, release the pelvis. We go again, and exhale, tuck. Think about grow tall, tummy pull in and up, squeeze the left butt, lunge forward. Inhale, return, release. And exhale, 4. Return, release. 4 more times, and release. Last 3, and good. And 2 more times. Tuck and lunge forward. And one last one, and then come all the way back. Okay, we change to the other side. Okay, ankle slightly in front of the knees. I'm moving my chair slightly forward. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, release. And again, exhale, 2. Inhale, release. Exhale, 3. Think about sliding the knee forward towards the wall in front. Tummy pull in and up, tailbone down. Inhale, release. 4 more times, and 4. Release. And 3. Good. Last 2 times, and 2. And one last one. Exhale, maintain this tuck, lunge forward. Remember, tummy pull in, tailbone down, shoulders directly above the hips. Inhale, release, release the pelvis. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, lunge forward. Inhale, release, release the pelvis. So you notice I'm not just collapsing into the joint, I'm engaging my opposing muscles, which is my butt and hamstring, to lengthening my hip flexors, front part of the legs. And exhale, 5. Inhale, release. We do 3 more, and 3. Release. Last 2 times, and 2. Good, and one last one, exhale. And then come all the way back. We are going to do one more set. You're welcome to do this variation. If you would like to progress, you will follow me, okay? So we are going to stand up. You can have your chair by your side just in case you are falling. So you want to keep your balance. So I turn around so that I have back of the chair, which is higher, to support me as my bar. From here, step your outside leg forward. Same thing, ankle in front of the knees. We are going to start with a lunge position. Ideally, when you lunge, your knee in line with your ankles. You can go slightly forward, it's okay, okay? As long as you have ankle mobility. Okay, so keep your knee above the ankle or slightly forward as long as your heels stay down. Back toes tuck. I'm trying to straighten my left leg as much as I can. Maintain this pelvis tuck. Tummy pull in, tailbone tuck down, shoulders on top of the hips. We are going to maintain this position. We're trying to bend down as low as we can, as long as we can keep this form, as long as we can keep the back leg straight. We do 8 repetitions. Maintain pelvis tuck and exhale. 1. So you notice if I go lower than this, my knees start to bend, so I don't go that low. Inhale, release a little bit. Exhale, 2. Inhale, release. We are still lengthening your hip flexors of the back leg. So think about pushing your heel towards the back wall. 4. Pelvis tuck. 5. Shoulders on top of the hips. Inhale, release. And 6. Release. 2 more. It's hard work. And one last one. And release. You should feel here is lengthening, okay? But it's active lengthening. Change to the other side. Remember, you're welcome to do the previous variation where you are kneeling on the floor. Bring your leg forward, back leg behind. I'm thinking about pressing my heel towards the back wall. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, engage your lower abs. Tuck your tailbone under, lunge. Inhale, release. Exhale, 2. Maybe the first few reps, you might not be able to go as low. It's okay. Continue to think about tucking your tailbone. Think about reaching your heels towards the back wall. Exhale, 4. 4 to go. And 4. Good. And exhale, 3. 2 more times. And one last one. And come all the way up. Ooh, feeling good here, okay? Now we are going to lengthen our hamstrings a little bit further. So it's a progression from where we were on the floor. We are going to standing again. I want you to have outside leg forward. So right now, my right leg is forward. My left leg is behind. My right leg stay parallel, toes pointing straight ahead. My left leg in slightly turned out. So if I'm facing the camera, this should be your position. Your hip bone still facing forward. From here, you can have your hands on your hips, open out to the side or on your forehead. I'm thinking about pressing the floor with my feet. I inhale, I lower my body down as low as I can keep my front leg straight. Front leg straight. And my spine in neutral. So I exaggerate a little bit, thinking about arching my lower back. And then I come back up. Okay, so if this is the lowest you can go with your back straight, we do that. So you don't want to go too low and you keep your back down. As you hinge down, you should feel the lengthening in your hamstring. Now press your foot down to hinge back up. We do 8 times. And 8. And 7. You hinge down, think about squeeze the ball between thighs and chest. And 3 more times. You can have even arms overhead. So this is the harder variation. 2 more. So you see, crown your head reaching away from the tails. Last 2 times. And one last one. And then come all the way up. We change to the other side. So the distance between front leg and back leg depends on the flexibility of your hamstring. The closer the legs together, the easier it is for the stretching of the back of the legs. Okay, we do the same thing. Left leg parallel, right leg in slight turn out. Your hip bones facing straight. And think about inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, draw your lower abs in. Press your feet firm onto the ground. Lean your body forward. Think about butt cheek up. And return. We go again. Inhale. Exhale. Press your foot, especially the front foot down as you lean back up. And 3. And 4. And 5. You can use inhale when you hinge down, or you can use your exhale as you hinge down, your choice, as long as you keep the form. Last 2, and one last one. Exhale, and then come all the way up. So you notice the focus of this class is the hips, pretty much front hip flexors and hip extensors, your hamstrings. Okay, so now I think you are quite ready. We're gonna progress. Okay, this time I want you to come down onto your knees again. You notice I have my front foot forward. I tuck my back toes under. From here, remember this position when we did the lunge earlier. Same thing, shoulders on top of the hips, pelvis tuck, tummy pull in, heels slightly in front of the knee. You can hold on to the chair here. Inhale. Exhale, float your back knee slightly off. You can have your knees bent here. Now I want you to see whether you can flex your top foot. We try to hold here for time, for 10 counts. Okay, go as low as you can, keep the form. Okay, try not to let your shoulders move forward. Okay, try not to arch the lower back. Think about pelvis tuck. If you can, arms off, and we stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly return. We change to the other side. So that was active lengthening and strengthening of the hip joints forward and back. Okay, same thing. You can start with your knees down first. Heels slightly forward. Tuck the back toes. Pelvis tuck. And lunge forward. From here, float your back knee off. Pelvis tuck. Tummy pull in. Keep the back knee slightly bent. Shoulders on top of the hips. Flex the top foot. And we hold. You can hold on to the chair. Try to find the balance for 5. Engage your abs. Engage your back butt. 4, 3, 2, a little bit lower, and 1. And come all the way down. Whew. So we are going to finish this mobility class. Pretty much the focus is in the front hip and back hips, okay, for your, basically your front split. So we are going to do a little bit of flow just to get the body moving a little bit. Okay, so we're not gonna use the chair now. So I want you to come down, lie down on your back. You can have your arms long by your side, or even arms up towards the ceiling. This is gonna be more challenging for your core. Okay, or arms out to the side. You're going to reach one knee bend, reach one leg long onto the mat. We are going to do leg kick. So I'm going to show you a slow motion first. I'm going to flex, and I think about scooping long to my heels, same as if you were kneeling on the floor. Pluck your leg back in, engage your quads. Go as far as you can, keep your sacrum down on the mat, and then exhale, point lower down. Okay, so keep this lengthening of the back leg as you lift leg up. Pelvis stay neutral, sacrum down, and then point at the top. You notice my leg fully straight. So if this is your height, it's okay. I want you to keep your leg straight and lower down. We are going to do this in dynamic form, okay, 10 times. So we go and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Good, change side. And here we go. And exhale to come up. And 2, and 3, and 4, 5. This is has the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. From here, roll onto your bellies. Just now we lengthen the hamstrings. Now we're gonna lengthen the front part of the legs, hip flexors. Okay, you can go down onto your forehead here. Try to keep your legs as parallel as possible, or slightly turn out is okay. Okay, but when you lift the legs, I want you to think of draw your tummy in and use your butt, squeeze the butt to lift the legs up. Try to keep your hip bones on the mat as much as you can, so it looks like this. We go. Good, so you do not feel anything in your lower back, okay? So it's not about how high you lift. You want to think about reaching long, tailbones reaching long. So we do 10 times on the right and 10 times on the left. Here we go. Inhale, exhale to kick. 9, 8, 7, tummy pull in. Keep your bottom leg active. 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Change to the other side. And 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good job. So put yourself back up and sit with your knees wide. Rest in child pose. You want to breathe in and deep. Feel like you lengthen your butt cheek down away from crown of your head. Two more breaths. And one last breath. From here, one last exercise before we cool down, okay? You should feel good in your hip flexors and hamstrings, okay? I want you to sit in a pike position. So if you're sitting like this, I want you to have a cushion, okay? So you can roll up a mat so that you can have your hips higher up than your legs. You can go as high as you can. I want you to go as high as possible, that you can sit on top of your sit bones. Lower back is lengthening, so you're not crunching down like this. So if you have raised the mat and you're still sitting like this, please find something to support yourself. You can even sit on a chair. Okay, I will demo a chair version later. So here, let's try this version, and then I will demo the chair version. I sit with my legs together on top of your sit bones. Pull your tummy in, lengthen, especially lower back, crown, head reaching up. I flex my feet. Okay, from here, have your hands behind your head, elbows slightly forward, reaching up tall. I hinge forward, so I go as far as I can keep my spine in neutral. In fact, I think about arching my lower back a little bit. You should feel lengthening here, and I hinge back up. We're going to do this 10 times. The last one, we're going to stay in small pulses for 10. Okay, here we go. And 10, 9, 8, keep spine long, 6, squeeze the ball between the thighs and chest, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, exhale, 2. One last one, we stay. You can have your hands here or reaching out, and we pulse. Trying to keep your spine long. Pulses down, small pulses, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, just relax down wherever you are. Okay, so I want you to stay relaxed. I'm going to show you the chair version. So you sit on your chair, facing away from the chair. So I sit almost at the edge of the chair, maybe 3 inches off the edge. I reach my leg forward, leg straight and long. Same thing, hinge forward, exhale, hinge back. I keep my spine as long as possible. I keep my legs active. Press your feet down onto the floor, pulling the kneecaps up towards the chest. 2 more. One last one, you're going to stay in the position and pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so I want you to stay here. Either you're on the floor, on a chair, rest your back down. Here you can round your back slightly. Think about breathe into the upper back. Inhale, send the breath all the way to the back of your rib cage. And exhale, relax down. Again, inhale, breathe into the upper back. Expand the rib cage. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. Breathe into the back. And exhale. Slowly roll your spine back up. And I want you to sit in a comfortable position. If you sit on the floor, cross your leg. If you sit on a dining chair, just sit up. We're just gonna breathe to finish. Inhale, raise your arms up. Shoulders come all the way up towards the ear. Exhale. You guys are doing awesome. So you should feel good. You should feel longer. Your legs, your hamstring should feel long. Your hip flexors should feel nice and loose. If you have been sitting all day, this is an excellent class for you. And one last one. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, lower down. So, good job guys. You have just finished a hip mobility class with a focus on lengthening hip flexors and your hamstrings. So I hope you enjoy the class. If you have any questions or feedback, please let us know. Until next time, thank you.